nachos and pico de gallo. They are both Mexican recipes and they're quite easy to follow, and they'll be really easy for you to make as a lunch or a snack to share with your family. So let's get started. So we're going to start our nachos by cutting up our pepper. You can use any type of bell pepper for this, and make sure when you're cutting any types of vegetables, you always have an adult with you for safety. So I always start by putting my pepper flat, making sure my fingers are out of the way, and cutting the top off the pepper. And why I find this the easiest is because you do need to reach inside and remove all the seeds and insides, because you do not want that in your thing. If the seeds don't come out, give it a little tap. Then I put my pepper upside down, cut it in half. Now there's two ways you can do your peppers. You can either cut them in long pieces like this, but they won't cook as much with the nachos. Or if you don't like crispy peppers, you will have to cut them up in small little pieces like this, making sure you keep your fingers and thumbs out of the way to put on your nachos. So now that I've cut up my peppers, I'm going to get my nachos ready to go in the oven. So first you will need a baking tray, and I like to use greaseproof paper so you can just pull the whole lot off when it is finished cooking. So you are going to sprinkle your tortilla chips over your tray so they're nice and even. You don't want the little bits on because they will burn. It usually takes about 2 bags to fill a tray. Then, after you have your chips all laid out, you're going to put your chicken on top. Now, this chicken is already pre-cooked. I find this the easiest because then you don't have to worry about cooking your chicken. If you do not like chicken, you could use beef instead, or if you're a vegetarian, you could just substitute for different vegetables, like tomatoes or onions. Then we can put our peppers on top. And you don't have to be fancy with it, you're just sprinkling them out evenly as you can. Then you're going to use your fajita seasoning. If you would prefer taco or any other type of seasoning, that's fine. Just sprinkle a little bit on top for flavor. And then finally the cheese. I've used mozzarella cheese here, but you could use cheddar or whatever type of cheese is your favorite. Make sure you put loads on because you can never have too much cheese. And then your nachos are ready to go in the oven. So now I'm going to show you how to make pico de gallo. Pico de gallo is a more authentic or fancier version of salsa, but using fresh ingredients, and it is Mexican. I've already pre-chopped all the ingredients up, so you don't have to watch me chop all of those. So first thing, you're going to put your onions in your bowl. It's about half of an onion chopped up, nice and fine, because you don't want the pieces to be too big. Then you're going to add your tomato. And the same with the tomato, you don't want to use the inside and the seeds. Take those out when you're chopping it up and add that to your bowl. Next, you're going to add your peppers, your chili peppers, and make sure they're chopped up nice and fine because you don't want that too big. When you're chopping them up though, make sure that you take out the seeds and the inner parts of the chili because you don't want to add that into your pico de gallo. Then we add our cilantro or coriander. And I'm only going to add a little bit of that at a time because you don't want it to be too strong. Give it a nice stir. Looks nice and colorful. And then most recipes call for about 3 tablespoons of lime juice, but I kind of gauge by how it looks. And the lime juice acts as a marinade and it brings all the flavors out and mixes them together. So that is 3. Give it another stir. And we could probably use a little bit more coriander in there. And then you want to season with your salt and pepper, which I've already mixed in here. You want to make sure it's well seasoned. I usually make this about an hour or two before I'm going to serve it, so it has time to set and let all the juices go through. You can see it's wet enough from the lime juice, I shouldn't have to add any more. And then you can cover it, put it in the fridge or leave it out on the side, and it's great to go with your nachos or any other Mexican food like fajitas or quesadillas. So these have just come out of the oven. They were cooked at 160 degrees in a fan oven, and they were in the oven for about 10 minutes. If you like them a little bit crispier, you can leave them a little bit longer, but they are ready to serve up. Don't they look delicious? So I've served up my nachos, added some sour cream and my freshly made Pico de Gallo, and they are ready to eat. Enjoy, everyone!